So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a VOD review of Clix and Deyy. Recently, they did win a small tournament for around $2,000, and they were winning pretty much the entire time, and I'm going to be going over one of their best games in this tournament. So getting right into it, as you guys can see, they do land Pleasant Park, and basically one big attribute of them landing Pleasant Park is that they get a large spread of loot and they're able to cover it very quickly, especially when they're uncontested. So as you guys can see, Deyy is fully uncontested, and so is Clix in the area that he is, so they decide to split the drop on opposite sides, and this helps them loot very quickly. Deyy is able to loot 3 houses pretty much instantaneously. He just looted the main white house, he looted the yellow house, and then also this brick house, and now he's meeting up with Clix roughly in the center of Pleasant Park after Clix is done looting his area. He even gets a golden tack, but he decides not to pick it up, obviously. But Clix might be able to get that and, benefit from it. And they have a bunch of meds, they have a bunch of mats, and they have a bunch of stuff that they need to win the game. Deyy even has a pad, so this shows exactly how much of a strong drop Pleasant is, especially when it's uncontested. So right here, they use a car for rotation. What they're trying to do is go and loot this house quickly before they go to Slurp Truck. They obviously did pop minis, and that's really a good precaution to have, especially if you have more minis than you normally need. It's really good to pop them because if a team does key you in the middle of the mid game, it's good to have at least a little bit of shield than no shield at all, obviously. So after Deyy maxes out on brick, they're going towards the bridge area to farm metal and to get a Slurp Truck. They also do need some Storm Surge, so that's one big thing to keep in mind. Clix is obviously trying to get them up this hill, and then they're going to be looking for Storm Surge on top of this little hill area to be closer to their bridge. They might be able to pick a fight. They might be able to go for some tags. I don't really know what's going to happen. I haven't obviously watched this VOD fully through. Deyy does go back for the car, and he gets it, and he's now going to be going to Clix and helping him out. So the zone obviously does pull Boney Burbs Holly area, and that's pretty much where the center of zone is. But what they decide to do is get this little crystal chest right here. I don't know exactly what they're called, but they get this crystal chest. It does give them some good loot. I would recommend that if you see these and you have the time to get them, I would recommend you always try to get them because they are pretty decent loot. They did buff them recently. They used to really only drop deagles and stuff like that, but now they can drop potentially blue pumps and, blue shotguns and stuff like that. So as you can see right now, they're in the middle of Boney Burbs. They're trying to look for a fight to get Storm Surge with. That's what they most of the time will do because they obviously have Deyy and Clix, who are 2 of the best fighters on the region. And they decide to push a little bit closer over here, and they find a team to fight right here. So the way that they fight this is actually very interesting. I want to explain exactly what they do. As you can see, Clix is over here attacking from this angle, and Deyy is over here attacking from this angle. This is what's called a sandwich technique. It basically sandwiches your opponent in a small area to the point where you and your duo partner can both, crush them and basically eliminate them from both sides. Now, one reason why this technique is really good is because if the opponent happens to escape through the back area, you and your duo partner can both kind of circle around the area and trap him again. So it's really difficult to escape. Even if he goes forward, the same thing can happen, the same thing can be applied, and there's basically a foolproof technique in order to properly eliminate a team in this way. And then obviously after they get the elimination, they have better loot, better materials, and they restock on all of those sorts of things. Now they rotate over to this broken house. They're trying to base up here and, solidify their position for the, getting into the later game, getting into the mid game. They want to try to stay here and not really have people tag them very much. They want to be able to replace all the walls, get mats, restock from that, and then get all the loot from this house, obviously. So right here, what they're doing is they're just waiting for zone to pull because they don't really need any Storm Surge and they can just kind of chill here. They don't really need any Storm Surge for anything, and they probably won't need anything for 30 or 50 Storm Surge, which obviously pulls at the 4th and the 5th zone respectively. And as you guys can see, they are on the edge of zone here, which isn't the ideal position to be. You can obviously wait there, which is what they do, but you don't really want to try to be on the edge of zone a lot of the time. This is just kind of a ballsy move that they do. They try to, have RNG play on their side, but you need to keep in mind that they do have a car that they can rotate with, and with this car, they can try to get to the center of zone and position themselves better for the rest of the game. So they wait for the 4th zone to pull, and obviously they don't get it. It's a cross map, and it's across the zone. They want to try to get there as fast as possible, which they can most likely do with that car that they have. It's obviously going to be really useful, especially with those special type of tires on them. It's going to get them farther. They're going to be able to go over rougher terrain, and it's less likely for them to get beamed. So Clix and Deyy get in the car, and they start rotating over to zone. Nobody's really shooting at them because they decide to go a little bit left side, and that's a really good spot to be because that's the deader side of zone, and they obviously want to try to position on the deader side of zone because it's going to get them into a good area. So as they're positioning for the next zone, they're trying to position on the edge of zone, obviously, because half and half does pull to the edge. However, as you guys can see, they do not pull half and half zone, and it pulls across. They want to try to get there as fast as possible, but you need to keep in mind that they still have that car, and they're trying to rotate as quickly as possible. However, what Clix decides to do is rotate to zone early, and he decides to get them ahead onto the dead side and solidify their position before everybody else starts coming. There's also other repercussions to this. What they can do is base up in zone, and then they can start beaming kids that are padding for surge. This is a really good technique. This is what's called early rotating, and it's going to help you guys with a lot of things, including Storm Surge, impact frags, and overall positioning to solidify your win in the game. So as you guys can see here, Deyy is looking for a couple of beams on players just to, you know, get their Storm Surge up to a level where it's not going to really be affected for the rest of the game and they don't really need to worry about it. That's the goal for most teams. You want to try to get ahead of Storm Surge and you want to be able to, you know, be solidified and you know, like, stick on it for the rest of the game. You don't really want to have to deal with any issues that Storm Surge provides for the rest of your games. This is why they're trying to look for a little bit now, even if they are 1,000 above. So Clix and Deyy both decide to pad to zone. Clix places a pad and Deyy follows him very closely behind. They decide to land ahead of zone, which is a really good thing to do, especially in duos, because duos is a game where you need to be together a lot of the time. You can't really get separated from the pack. You need to be together with your duo partner, and then you can most of the time get the best impact frag potential and just have the best stuff to do in the game. Now what Deyy is doing here is he's staying very close to Clix. Even if Clix is medding, Deyy is always sure to stay close to him. This is really good and it's a foolproof technique where you won't really get ambushed or jumped at any point. Obviously, Clix does get sprayed here and he does get knocked, but Deyy is able to get the revive off. Those people probably just need to Storm Surge for the situation, and obviously Zone does pull their direction, so they get a little bit of luck on their side here, but they get the res off, and as you guys can see, they try to split the roles of the duo very, very well. They really split the roles very well, and what they try to do is if one of them is knocked, the other one reses. If one of them is knocked, the other one tarps, and as you guys can see, Clix is healing right here while Deyy is tarping, which is a really useful technique to have and a really good asset to have in a teammate. And obviously, Deyy does have that fragger mentality, so he does look for some kills that he doesn't really need, and that's one recommendation I would give to Deyy, to not really, you know, be obsessed with as much. Clix obviously shoots him off of those kills, and he's able to, you know, get away from them alive. So right here, Clix and Deyy get in on a kid, they get a kill as you guys can see. And Deyy keeps looking for a bunch of kills, he sees a kid right here, and then he gets a kill onto this player, which he hits him about 145, and then that player dies to zone, as you guys can see. And this is where Deyy starts to, you know, frag out. He gets 2 more kills before getting into the very late game. He tries to, you know, help Clix get a little bit ahead. He gets this kill on the Surf Witch right here, and then he keeps going. That was obviously Miro, so that's one of the best players in the lobby. And one really good thing is to know if you're the best player in the lobby. If you're the best player in the lobby, you have the highest chance of winning. But Clix and Deyy don't really know who's left here, so they're not 100% certain of what's going on. So getting fully into the late game, this is the final zone. It is a 2v2 situation, and Clix and Deyy obviously have really good heal off material. They have medkits, they have, you know, slurp cannon, they have pretty much everything they need to heal off. And that's the one issue that I would recommend that doesn't end up winning them the game. They actually come second place in this game, and Deyy doesn't really pop the medkit. He doesn't really do a medkit play. He doesn't do anything of that sort, and that's one thing I would, you know, kind of grieve with. That's not really a good idea. He should have gone for a medkit play here, and they probably would have won the game if he did, because especially right now, when it's 4 seconds left on zone, he should have tried to go for it, especially when it was like around 18, maybe 20 seconds left on zone. He should have tried to go for it. He would have been able to, you know, solidify his position for winning the heal off. Obviously, they do have truck cannons, and yeah, they end up coming second place in the game. So it's not really ideal. You know, they don't get the win points, and it's not the best they could have done, but they could have done very, very good in this game by winning, but they still did fantastically. They got a bunch of kills, they got a bunch of placement points, and this is one of the games that led to them winning the tournament. So that is going to be the Clix and Deyy VOD review. If you guys did enjoy, please consider dropping a like and subscribing to the channel. Also, please consider using code SonataYT in the Fortnite item shop if you guys do want to support me, and be sure to check out all of my other socials in the description. But that's about it for this video, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.